almost midnight on a cold, rainy November night when I was picking up a 17-year-old mom off Rice Road and checking her into a hotel. She had been homeless for almost a year, house hopping with a baby girl no more than 6 months old. It was clear that she had no real guidance or resources. The sadness behind her eyes let me know she had experienced a lot for her young age. But there was also determination and fire in her eyes, a hope for more. As I pulled out my ID and credit card at the front desk of the extended stay, I realized the parallels of this young girl's situation and mine. Growing up, my brother always told me that out of the two of us, I was the one meant to be successful. For as long as I can remember, he was always my biggest supporter. We were raised to believe that the only two people we could depend on were each other, so that's who we learned to lean on the most. And he also complied with all of my shenanigans. For as long as I can remember, I've wanted to sing, be an entertainer. On the weekends, my cousins used to come over and we'd pop in a Paula Abdul or Whitney Houston cassette tape. There you go. And we'd grab the nearest object that looked like a microphone and we'd perform in the mirror of my bedroom. Sometimes, much to his chagrin, my brother would be pulled into the antics. I remember when the music video for Madonna's Vogue premiered on MTV. I made a big point of learning the dance moves from that video and then pulled my brother into the mirror to do it with me. Again, my biggest supporter. One year for Christmas, I couldn't have been no more than 10. My parents bought me a microphone that came with a stand that had a pedal with different light settings. And with this magic microphone, I became a star. I used to make mixtapes and pretend that they were my songs and perform full-out concerts in my bedroom. And when I say full out, I mean choreography, wardrobe changes, there was a set list, oh yeah. This is something that carried on for years, but as you grow older, you tend to put childhood dreams aside. So even though singing was my heart, I believed that it was in my best interest to put away the silly dreams and become more responsible. If being responsible means getting pregnant at 17 during your first semester of college. Yeah, he was the quarterback of the football team, and surprisingly, I was not the captain of the cheerleading squad. No, I rocked a different uniform, playing the clarinet in the marching band. Sexy, am I right? I also remembered the moment I realized I was pregnant. I didn't need a pregnancy test to figure that out. There are some things that we as women just know about our bodies, and for me, this is one that I knew. I also remembered the fear. So what is the best solution in this situation? Cover and deny until the last minute, duh. When I reached my last trimester, I finally had to return home from school and face the music. And within weeks of me returning home, I was holding my little girl in my arms. My best friend of 25 plus years now didn't even know I was pregnant. We were supposed to be rooming together for our second year of college. And I remember the day that she called me to start planning for the semester, and I was like, hi, yeah, I had a baby. The birth of my daughter, Chantal, my boo bear, changed everything for me. It was like being lost in the woods, and suddenly God placed a compass in my hand. All roads led to her. Everything I said and everything I did. She's like right there. I was doing with her in mind. And just as he did when we were growing up, my brother came alongside me and the dynamic duo became the terrific trio. We both went back to school and found better employment so we could make a good life for her. Life wasn't easy by any means, but when I wanted to give up, I remembered who I was and who was watching. My brother continued to be a huge part of Chantal and I's lives as the years went by. He truly helped me in raising her. Then, in 2017, the unthinkable happened. I received a phone call from my brother's employer saying that he was being rushed to the hospital. On July 8th, just a day after his 37th birthday, my brother died from congestive heart failure. My person, my rock, was gone. The person that I could call or text at any hour, at any situation, was just gone. But worst of all, he wouldn't be around to see the successes of his niece. Until this day, that breaks me.
Okay. Easier, baby.
I know. I felt like my world was ending, and I felt like giving up. But I had to keep going. I knew that that is what he would have wanted for me and for Chantal. I invested in my career assisting young mothers like the one I told you about from that cold November night. And I took the responsibility I had as a mom and for the moms I cared for very seriously. Through all of that, my love for music was always present. And it's funny, when something is meant for you, the Lord will bring that opportunity right back around. In spring of 2019, a little birdie started whispering in my ear. And what did she have to say? I should start a band. My immediate response was, excuse me? On what part of God's green earth would it be a good idea to add starting a band to my already overflowing plate? And yet there I was, my very own Jiminy Cricket. Except mine came in the form of a superstar jazz artist and who brought along her friends to turn up the heat. And let me tell you, peer pressure still works as an adult. I finally relinquished, and on a hot 4th of July afternoon, I sat in the living room with my bandmates, eating barbecue and tossing around band names. Well, what do you do when you can't land on a good name? Well, you find a band generator, of course. Of course, Rochara, what is your favorite color? Your favorite artist? Choice of drink? And the questions continued. If anyone wonders how you land on the band name the Honey Doves, my favorite drink is hot tea with honey and lemon. The color, purple. Artist, Prince. We got our first gig in February of 2020, and it was a great success. We were ready to take on Central Missouri with our neo-soul and funk originals and covers. And does anyone remember what happened in March of 2020? That's right, the world shut down. Not to be thwarted, the band forged ahead, writing and rehearsing through Google Docs and Zoom. And in fall of 2021, we hit the pavement running with a reintroduction concert and quickly began to book gigs. In April of 2023, we were invited to perform at Treeline, AKA Roots and Blues. Wow. We were ecstatic about the exposure this would bring, and we were already in the process of recording our first album. And wouldn't it be a killer idea to have the release coincide with our performance? By the sounds, who can remember what happened with Treeline? It didn't happen. Canceled within a month of the event. But what happens to a dream deferred? Deferred being the optimal word, as deferred is not denial. In this case, the answer to that question is plan your own party. On October 6th of that year, we threw our own album release party. Looking back, every step of my journey, every detour, every heartbreak has led me here. From that little girl singing into a toy microphone to a woman who has learned to embrace her power. Life has thrown its fair share of challenges my way, but I've faced them with the same fire I saw in that young mother's eyes on that cold November night. The same fire that my brother always saw in me. I know that he would be proud of me, and his love and belief in me remain my guiding force. I learned that dreams don't expire, they evolve. They wait for us to be ready. And when they call again, we have to be brave enough to answer. On October 6th, I stood on stage, surrounded by the people who believed in me, and I sang not just for myself, but for the little girl I used to be. For my brother, for Chantal, and for every woman who has ever doubted her own strength. That night wasn't just an album release. It was proof that no matter where we come from, no matter how many times we get knocked down, we can rise again. We can build our own stage, and we can shine. Wherever you go, whatever you do, oh, please remember I'll always be there for you. You don't have to call, you don't have to say, just think about me and I'll be on my way. You don't have to worry, I'm sure you'll be fine. 'Cause if you stay happy, then what's yours is mine. Wherever you go, whatever you do, remember that I'll always be there for you. Wherever you are, think of your dreams. Oh, please remember, life ain't always what it seems. For each rainy day that comes your way, the sun will come shining, it'll be okay. Keep on smiling, every girl and boy. Remember when you were children, you had toys. Wherever you are, think of your dreams. Remember that dreams become the life you lead. Hey. Wherever you play, it's okay to lose. Oh, sometimes as long as you learn from every game you choose. If one thing's for sure, you'll always endure. If If you try your best at everything you do, say what you mean and mean what you say. The price of a broken heart's too much to pay. And nothing is worth it if you don't have to try.
The higher the stakes, the higher the sky.
Wherever you go, whatever you do, please remember that I'll always be there for you.